Hello, this is lesson 10C, compound events, and please gather different colored pens, at least two different colors, and if you don't have this handout, you can download it on my Power School website where you found this video, and press pause to get your materials ready, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Please pause now. Okay, so at the very top we have a table, and at the left side of the table it says, what is the sample space? So we're going to fill in the blanks here. Okay, so a sample space describes all the possible outcomes of an event. Okay, and then it can be displayed with the use of lists, tables, and tree diagrams. Okay, so we would be writing all the possible outcomes of an event, and to do that we can use lists, tables, and tree diagrams. Now pause the video if you need to copy all of that down, but we're going to talk about what is a compound event. Okay, so a compound event, that's what this lesson is about. A compound event, okay, so a compound event is an event that consists of two or more events. And then it can be found by using the sample space. So we're going to list all the possible outcomes then to find the different probabilities of a compound event. Okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, let's take a look at problem number 1, using a table. The two spinners below are spun at the same time. Use a table to list the sample space. Okay, so we have our two spinners, and they're different. And so what we're going to do is we're going to list the possible outcomes of this first spinner right here. So the possible outcomes of that spinner is it could land on 1 or it could land on 2. Okay, and then this space over here, we're just going to, nothing's going to be on that one. Okay, I'll just cross it out like this. All right, now across the table, we're going to list the outcomes of the second spinner. So look at the second spinner. We have 4 colors. So we're going to write those colors in there. Okay, it doesn't matter the order. I'm just going to go starting with yellow. So I'm going to write the colors. So across the top, you need to write yellow, red, blue, orange. And then just make sure that you guys write it down and pause the video if you need to. So now we're going to look at the sample space. Okay, so the sample space, what we're going to do is fill in the table where if this row, oops, let me point. If this row here is, these are all going to be 1s, and then this column's all going to be yellows, reds, blue, orange. So this combination right here is going to be where you spin a 1, okay, and then you spin a yellow on the second spinner. And then for the next one, this is going to be where you spin a 1 and then you spin a red on the second one. And this is a 1 and then a blue. And the last one is going to be spinning a 1 and then an orange. So that it doesn't look like a 0, I'm going to put OR for orange. Okay, so you can abbreviate just as long as, they look like, represent the colors and numbers they should represent. So then for the second row, for this row right here, these are going to be all the 2s, but with each different color. So you have a 2, and then you put a comma with the yellow. And this is if you spin a 2, comma, and then a red. 2, comma, and then a blue, and then 2, comma, and then the orange. Okay? So now let's go ahead, and that is, okay, so what we just did right here before we continue is this is the total possible outcomes. This is your sample space. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use our sample space to answer these questions in problem 2. So for problem 2, we have using the sample space, find the probabilities using the outcomes above. So for part A, the probability that you spin a 1 and land on yellow. Okay, so here that only can happen in one possible way, okay, because there's no other 1 in yellow. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible outcomes. So then our probability is going to be a 1 out of 8. Can we box our answer? Okay. Now for problem 2. So now here we're trying to find the probability that we spin a 2 and then land on blue or red. Okay, so here are all the 2s. Now this one's the red and this one's the blue. So there's 2 of them. Okay, 2 red and 2 blue. So that means it's going to be 2 out of a total of 8. So then we write our fraction 2 out of 8. Okay, but I always want you to simplify. Okay, so that simplifies to 1 out of 4, a 1/4 chance. Okay, so now let's look at problem 3. For problem 3, find the probability that you spin a 1 and then on the second spinner, not yellow. Okay, so here, the first row, remember, those are all the 1s. Okay, so we have our 1s here. Okay, but then our not yellows are these 3 right here. So there's 3 out of 8. Okay, so we're going to have here 3 out of 8. And that's our probability. So another way to list our sample space is to use a tree diagram. So here, a tree diagram would be used usually with events that have, the compound events that have 3 or more events. So let's look at this one. It says the Martinez family is having triplets. List the sample space of what gender, boy or girl, the triplets might be. Okay, so what we're going to do is start with the first baby. The first baby is going to be a boy or a girl. So we write B or G. We can abbreviate. And then for the second baby, that can be a boy or girl. So for the first B, we're going to put 2 branches and we're going to put boy or girl. So that means how we read it is the first baby can be a boy, the second baby can also be a boy. Or the first baby can be a boy, the second baby could be a girl. All right, and now we do branches again on the G. Okay, so here we have boy and girl. All right, so then this one you read it as this could be a girl, the second one could be a boy, or it could be a girl, and the second one can also be a girl. All right, now for the third baby, that can also be a boy or girl. So we're going to go ahead and put a branch on that one and write B and G, and then branches on this girl right here and write B and G. Okay, and then branches on this boy and write B and G. And then last one, this is going to be a B and a G. Okay, so there's lots of possibilities for these babies. So here, to read it, we have either a first baby boy, second baby boy, third baby boy. Or first baby boy, second baby boy, third baby girl. First baby boy, second baby girl, third baby boy. Then it goes boy, girl, 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 boy, boy, girl, boy, girl. So that's how you read the tree diagram. Girl, girl, boy, girl, girl, girl. Okay, so we're going to list those letters. So just go ahead and list them with me. We have boy, boy, boy. Okay, and then boy, boy, girl. This one's kind of a big list, I know. Boy, girl, boy. And then boy, girl, girl. Okay, and that's the first branch. And then for the second branch, girl, boy, boy, girl, boy, girl, 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 boy, and then girl, girl, girl. Okay. All right. So those are the combinations of the babies. So now let's look at problem 4. Okay, so before we do problem number 4, let's go ahead and put our secret code word. Our secret code word will be on the side here next to number 3. And the question is, I want to ask you how many siblings you have. And you can count your step-sister and brothers or half-sister and brothers if you want. And if you're an only child, you would say 0 siblings. So you can separate them by brothers and sisters, or just put them all together and say siblings. Okay, and now we're going to continue with 4. Number 4 is says we're going to find the probabilities here. What's the probability that they have 3 boys? That all 3 boys are, I should say, are going to, all 3 babies are boys. And so you notice there's only one that has 3 boys, okay? And you have to count how many possible outcomes they could be. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so they would have a 1 out of 8 chance that the first baby's a boy, second baby's a boy, and third baby's a boy. Okay, and then here for number 4B, it says what's the probability that 2 of them are going to be boys and 1 of them is going to be a girl. So we have 2 boys and a girl here, and we have 2 boys and a girl here. I think that's it. So there were 8 total. So that's a 2 out of 8. Okay, so that's going to reduce to 1 over 4. Okay, and then for the last one, what's the probability that at least one of them is going to be a girl? So that would be this one here. Anyone with at least one, this one here, this one here. So there's 3 here. This is 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So we're going to have 7 out of 8. And that's it. That's all for your notes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.